Okay. All right. We are in. Hi, Cameron.
Hi, Vilesh.
Hello.
Hello.
Not that any of the watchers or the listeners, whoops, let me get my cursor out of the way, knew or anything, but we're in now two separate states. She and I were both in Arizona before, and now she's on is that considered the East Coast,
Yeah,
Florida? Is that
it
really?
is. Yeah,
It,
back home.
it is the East Coast. I'm in the desert and she's in the swelter. The
Paradise. It's
swamp.
perception.
The swamp with the crocodiles. No, I'm kidding.
No, baby, I'm
Um,
in paradise. I'm on the beach.
oh, love it, love it. All right, you guys, welcome to this edition of Fit with Purpose. Today we're going to get into supplements, talking about what they are, and then we're just going to talk about one particular supplement. Not going to be very long, so we're glad that you are tuning in. Our next podcast will give our stories and our backgrounds. So um, let's
You
jump
have a
right.
new hairdo, by the way. I want to comment on it. It looks lovely.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I know I try to do different. I don't, that's a lie. I'm always doing something that's funky. I had red before and I put brown and blonde. I always like to use blonde because I'm blonde. But it's funny, you know how kids look at you and they get used to a way that you look. And my sons are like, we liked the red. I go, you guys, give it a chance. I'm gonna change it up a
Yeah,
lot. Lot.
I like this better.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Am I toned down a little bit?
a little bit, a little bit.
I like to be all uppity. Um, okay,
Okay.
so supplements is a super beyond hot topic, and this will not be our last podcast talking about
No,
supplements. So,
and I don't think it's the first either.
yeah, no. So you guys know we also have a podcast. It's Fit with Purpose, the same thing, I believe. I think that's what it's called. We're on Anchor, and it's just audio. And we need to promote that more. I need to put that on our socials and stuff like that. But supplements is always a hot topic in the fitness, wellness, food industry. So I'm gonna give you the floor. Tell us, what is supplements? What are supplements, Cameron? Cameron has a that is her background particularly. So take the floor. Just tell us.
Interesting that you say what is it, but I think the word itself defines it perfectly. It's a supplement to your hopefully already existing good I use that term loosely, good diet. But I think the problem, and you and I have spoken about this before, is the problem is people had rather take supplements in lieu of a good diet. And it just doesn't work that way. I mean, I'm sure if you're anywhere on social, as we all are, because we are as we speak, we've seen the meme, you can't out supplement a bad diet, but yet that's what people try to do. Have you had clients or potential clients say, "Hey, can I take this instead of eating my green vegetables?"
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yes, they do. And um, I'd love to even speak more in depth about that. But for even I guess simplifying supplements, because even myself as a coach, when I first before I even became a coach and was just a exercise enthusiast, um, I didn't quite understand what supplements are. And we're
Mhm.
talking about, powders are supplements. And we're talking powders, even protein powder is
Sure.
considered a supplement, meaning it's not, it's not the food itself that you're eating. So supplements can be in powder form, they can be in pill form, vitamin C, right? It's a supplement, vitamin D, a B complex, all those pills are supplements. There's pre-workouts that are supplements. There's powder that are pre-workout. There's pills that are pre-workouts. So Cameron's referring to, you know, there are those that think they can still eat a processed food diet, a food like product diet, and then be taking these powders and pills, and that's good enough. Oh, I had my vegetables, I had my healthy stuff, I had my good stuff, and then they're still eating junk food. So that's what she's referring to. I mean, there's a lot to be said about that. And yeah, there are people that do believe that. And like she said, you cannot, like you just said, you cannot out supplement
Right.
a diet that's not going to override what you're doing to your blood sugar, your kidneys, how you're
Not at
overworking
all.
your liver, how you're putting pressure on your pancreas, how you're doing, that's not going to fix that. So we wanted to get out there what are supplements, and we both love supplements. I mean, a ton, we're on a ton. But there's reasons, I don't even know if we can get into that in one podcast because it's even hormone supplements. We're not going to go there. We'll go there at some point, but not today.
Yeah, we've
Right?
already covered like 5 podcasts in the first 2 minutes of this.
Exactly.
This and this and this and this.
What are supplements? Are they, well, and let's just break it down with questions. Are supplements good for you and are they needed? Go. You take it.
Wow. Are they good for you? I think they certainly can be. Absolutely. They can be. But the old adage is it holds true for supplements as well, and that is everything in moderation. And I know I've heard a lot of influencers say that, well, if you have a really good diet, you don't need supplements. And I don't necessarily agree with that.
I don't agree with
You
that. I
don't,
don't agree with
yeah.
that.
Um, and what you had said, are they good for you? And what was the second question? Are they necessary or what?
Right. Are they good for you? Are they necessary?
Yeah.
It goes
Yeah.
back to we'll break down, we need to leave them with the general supplements that just everybody should be on, which you probably already know,
Oh, I have a list.
I'll let you get, just general, and that's without even needing blood work done. Because,
Mhm.
I even get into listening to, you know, Dr. Mark Hyman, I mean, we can say all these doctors' names, all these functional medicine doctor, all these different kinds of people, but a lot of it, you can be taking a supplement. A lot of them, some of them are water soluble. We have to tell them what that means, and are oil soluble. And you have to understand that if you're taking more than what you need, it's a waste of money. You're peeing them out, or do you know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
There's ways to get your blood tested so that you know where you're falling deficient in. And so when you start to supplement, you don't have to supplement forever. Remember, supplement is adding in what you're not getting completely, or maybe you're wanting a little bit more for a short period of time for a particular goal. But we don't want to confuse you because there are just general supplements that you should be taking. So we'll just keep this we'll give you the general supplements just overall to keep your body to be healthy and to maintain your health. And then, a whole nother podcast is on go see where you're deficient, depending on what symptoms you're actually experiencing. Are you tired all the time? Do you feel like you have no energy? What age
Right.
bracket are you in? I mean, there could just be places that you're falling short. And that's where I fall. That's where I lie. That's where we all do. As aging women, there's things that now our body isn't producing as effectively because we're
Yeah.
aging.
Well said. Well
Yeah.
said.
And because of that, we have to be on, some other things, but that still doesn't mean also forever. So yeah, I do think they're definitely necessary. And so let's start. What are the general? So I'll say I'll just do one. The multivitamin, right? Everybody should be on a multivitamin. What is a multivitamin? What is in a multivitamin? And does that mean you don't take separate vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B complex? What's a multivitamin?
Yeah. That's a good question. Ideally it should be from natural sources such as, instead of synthetic vitamin C that's made in a lab, from GMO corn, which most 99% of vitamin C is. Preferably, we want it from natural organic sources such as acerola cherries. That would be from a natural source versus GMO pesticide-ridden corn. And just for a moment, Val, if I can go backwards for a second. Well, multivitamin, multimineral. You have all the mineral, or not all, but most of the minerals and most of the vitamins. Preferably, again, from organic sources, which is incredibly challenging to find, but they are out there. And I do have a list. Should someone want to reach out to me, I can pass that along. But again, there's so many different rabbit holes we can go down here, especially for not only individual supplements, but what people should be should be taking at whatever stage of life they're in. I currently have 10 that I take myself and I recommend, but this is for my age bracket and my activity level. Not saying that if you're not in my age bracket and not in my activity level, that these shouldn't be a part of your daily routine, because they are, for the most part, a generalized overview of supplements that I
Exactly.
do think people
Keep
can
talking.
benefit from.
I'm
What's
sorry.
that?
I keep
If,
talking. I have to jump up. I just spilled a green smoothie all over my
oh, yeah,
bed.
you keep talking.
Keep
I'll just
talking,
run
but
down.
keep
I'll
talking. I'm
just
just gonna grab a towel.
Yeah, sure, of course. I'll just run down my top 10 list again that I take, and I would recommend that people, not just women, but guys as well, probably want to consider taking if they're in the same age bracket in pseudo activity level. So like I'd said, a multi-mineral, multivitamin from natural sources. Fish oil is a really, really big one. And that's what I would like to talk about at the remainder or at the end of this podcast, if we can fit it in. CoQ10, incredible, change my life supplement. Probiotics, everybody knows they should be on a probiotic for obvious reasons. Vitamin D is a really big one now. Interestingly enough, it's kind of come full circle. It used to be really big, then it went away, and now it's back. Rhodiola is a really, really interesting to me supplement, and again, it's done wonders for me. Collagen would be number 7 on the list. Gut powder has the same benefits as a probiotic, but does things in a little bit different way, so a different mechanism of action. Organic wheatgrass powder, super, super paramount that it's organic, because things that are grown today in this country and most countries are laden with chemicals and pesticides, and you really don't want that in your body. And the last one, which may or may not be controversial, whey protein. And doesn't necessarily have to be whey, but I choose whey for the complete amino acid profile, which again, another podcast. But do you have any thoughts on those, Val? And did you want to
Yeah.
dive into
So
anyone in particular? And a
we'll
lot of these,
have
like
to.
the fish oil. I'm so sorry. Go, please.
No. We'll have to write. We'll have to. A lot of these that you mentioned, people aren't going to know how to spell, like rhodiola,
Mm,
things like that. So in this, we're going to have to put it in the description when we get the podcast out, how to spell these things. And I just mean, I don't want to overwhelm people. Go out and
right.
get 10 supplements that you need. So just I wanted to
And I
break.
can shoot everyone my list, by the way. That's an easy 2-page PDF. Just we can put it in the show notes and they can download it, or however they want to receive it.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll write the names of the supplements that you said. And again, just general ones, those are again up for interpretation of what's general and what's not. But and then you've got those people that even with all protein powders, there's literally a handful of people out there that are like, I don't even want to have protein powders. I just want to have real food and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
again, that's up to their discretion. And then um all of those are in my opinion too super necessary again for the different type of diets out there. And me being vegan, I don't consume whey protein, as you know,
Right.
and there's other ways of getting a complete amino acid, the
Sure.
vegan way and the vegetarian way. And that's
And
what
there's
I
vegan proteins, by the way, as
exactly
you know and consume yourself.
exactly. There's vegan proteins, and obviously in your diet you can combine vegetables with legumes, this and that, and it does create a complete protein amino acid profile. So again, what we share is we want people to get the knowledge of what you need. You need a complete amino acid profile. However you seek that out to do that, we're here to give you the ways. We're here to give, no pun intended. Whey protein contains that. If you happen to be vegan or vegetarian and want to do another way, I have that information, which is why we're a great source for people, because not everybody they don't offer all of those alternatives. It's just like, okay, have
Right.
this, have that, have this, have that. But there are different diets out there. The fish oil also, another big one. And of course, the vegan source of getting a fish oil is you need a very good omega-3 supplement.
Right.
And that so we can also in the description, once writing, we'll put what Cameron listed, um, those particular, uh, what am I trying to say? Those particular supplements, and then I'll add there, the vegan supplement and, any plant protein powder. We do want to stress that if you're getting protein powder, any of that, it's 0 grams of sugar. But let's pick one of those and give the reason why it's super
Yeah,
important. And we'll kind of like, well, just, wrap it up with that, the one I
sure.
know you want to talk about fish oil, but there's so
Yeah.
many more places and avenues to dive
I
into
know,
your
right?
supplements. Before she even gets into fish oil, I want to make sure that you guys know that, again, the multivitamin, depending, look at it, you want to, no matter what, always be taking a vitamin C, a vitamin D3, a B complex, I'm trying to think what else, and the multivitamin that does it necessarily have B and all that in it, or no?
It actually does, yeah.
Yeah.
In the form, there's a lot of different forms of B, but
Yeah.
what I have found is, and I'm glad you mentioned B, a B complex,
Huge.
which is not on my list, but this list was written. I wrote this maybe a year ago, which I would actually update it now. So thank you for mentioning that. I would update it with a B vitamin. And again, this is another rabbit hole, another podcast, but it has to be an activated form of the B vitamins, or else your body it struggles a lot to convert that into a usable form. So, and again, another podcast. So, yeah,
And
B vitamins for sure.
that's the thing about supplements, you guys. You have to kind of know what you're looking for and what you're buying. And for this to be useful, um,
Don't buy
uh,
your supplements at the Dollar Tree is what we're trying to
yeah,
tell you.
I'm just trying to say I don't want to, in terms of brands, like what brands do we need to tell you guys to get what we should just probably do another one where we tell you what brands to stay away from, not
Yeah,
brands
yeah, exactly.
not brands to particularly get, but like she said, and the B vitamin, if you're wondering what it's for, multitude of things, enhances your mood, gives you energy. There's a lot of things. So just be cognitive of all that. So go ahead with, I guess, give the benefit of the fish oil and explain, is fish oil, what is that part of omega-3? And this is for the listeners. So what is fish oil? Why is it important? Is that what omega-3 supplement is? And then we'll finish.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you had mentioned there, and I apologize if you can hear the background noise, I apologize for that. But yes, there is a vegan form. Let me just preface that there is a vegan form of omega-3s, which is the fatty acid makeup of a fish oil pill. So it's EPA and DHA are the omega-3s that are found in a fish oil pill, or a fish oil capsule. And let me tell you, this is something that I'm super passionate about, because I don't think people understand the magnitude of how important omega-3s are in the proper ratio to your diet, because fish oil alone, or omega-3 fatty acids alone, can reduce triglyceride levels. And people say, what the heck is triglyceride?
Right.
It would be more simplified, or easier to simplify it, by saying cholesterol levels. They alone can lower blood pressure, and they actually decrease the risk of a cardiac related event by reducing blood clots. And this is just not me blabbering on like, oh, I think it might do
Good
this, or
science.
I read
It's
Bob's
science.
website and these are the benefits. But these are white paper, peer reviewed studies, thousands that indicate this. And that's just one benefit of fish oil. So heart health. And the second one kind of works in the same way, but for the brain. So we're talking about brain health and neurocognitive function and transmitter function. So if you're foggy thinking, or maybe if you're moody, and I'm not saying this is that a fish oil is the reason you have XYZ. It could potentially be one reason that maybe you have foggy thinking, or you can't process thoughts properly, because I don't think, again, people understand the necessity of good fats in their diet. And if they do, maybe they don't get enough. But you have these transmitters in your brain, which is, by the way, made up of fat and cholesterol, your brain. So if you reduce what they run off of, or what your brain is made up of, it's not going to function properly. So if you replenish the good fats, your process, your neurotransmitter function is going to start working better. You could potentially think better, think more clearly, not be as moody. And big one for number 2 brain function is it's been proven, meaning fish oil, omega-3s, have been proven to reduce the risk of age-related cognitive issues such as Alzheimer's, dementia, and ALS, which is huge. I don't want any part of any of that stuff.
Well, I don't think the bottom line is the consistency, people not consuming this on a consistent level. And I know people who are it's funny, over consuming. And I don't want to say necessarily omega-3 or fish oil, but everyone's catching on the fact that we need fat in our diet,
Right.
good
Right.
fat. And there are people that are overdoing that.
Oh, sure.
Doing it. I mean, I won't name specific diets, but I mean, I know people that are eating 2 avocados a day. That's too many avocados, a full
And
avocado.
spoonfuls of coconut oil and just going
things like
nuts.
that. MCT oil adding into your, I
Yeah.
mean, benefits of things, but it's almost like this country goes overboard with everything. If it's a recreational drug, they overuse it. If it's a painkiller, it's overused. If it's okay, let's get more fat in our diet. Okay, now suddenly let's just only stay with a good fat diet, and that's going to be good for us, AKA Atkins. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
we just the lines get so blurred with everything that's out there and the way that humans function because they deal with chronic addictions, right? Then it's like, okay, well, this is good for me, so I'm only going to have this, or I'm only going to go down this route. You guys, you have the knowledge and make a list, of what you need and when you're going to have it. Yes, have it every single day, but don't go overboard.
Yeah.
And, don't particularly, we've talked, Cameron's, she knows a lot and it has her background in supplements and is starting up a supplement business, but, start at the beginning. Don't jump to P before you pass, H, meaning get the names of what you need. I know we've talked about it's got to have XYZ, don't get something synthetic, just don't stress about that in the beginning. Just get the knowledge first and get the information that you need to get. You know what I mean? And then we'll talk about the ingredients of what you need to look for. But just start easy, start. Don't overdo it, don't underdo it. Just be knowledgeable and be aware of what your body needs to just be regularly functioning well.
Right. Well said. So let's see. Oh, okay, we have 3 more, so we'll finish up fairly quickly. I'll kind of blast through these. So the first 2 were heart health and brain function, and the third one of my favorites for the obvious immediate benefits, and this is, I can't stress to you enough how well this works. If you're a gym rat like me, or even you, Val, I take 2 fish oil before I work out. And it's like an ibuprofen, not even kidding you. Fish oil has anti-inflammatory properties that somehow or reduce pain and stiffness and alleviate that inflammation that causes immobility and inflexibility and
That's a huge tip,
it's
Cameron.
incredible. It really is like an ibuprofen, and I do not miss taking 2 fish oil capsules before I work out. I absolutely love it. And
That's a
again,
tip, and you need to do a TikTok or a reel on that, what you just mentioned. This is your wheelhouse, this is she's trying to get supplements out there from her standpoint, and that information, is huge. Protecting your joints, protecting, the stiffness, feeling like you're not getting enough stretching. That's a tip. That's a huge tip that people probably are not aware of.
and interestingly enough, that people in the 50-ish age range, there's been a relatively new study that has outlined NSAIDs such as ibuprofen as a culprit in sudden cardiac death, again, in people in the 50-ish age range. So I personally don't want to risk taking
I
ibuprofen
don't know
for anything.
who's taking
I
ibuprofen, but
know, I
hopefully not
know.
before working. I mean, it's an inflammation reducer. I've taken ibuprofen. I mean, my son actually has strep throat and is on 600 milligrams of ibuprofen. It's not a regular thing. It's in the extreme situations.
Right.
You know, but that's again, a huge tip.
Yeah, I guess
He's
that'll be my
not
reel
50.
tomorrow. How about that?
He's not 50, so there's
Yeah, he's not
like, so
50.
we're talking again, take
If it
heed.
is, we have a problem.
Yeah, you take heed to
Or
the
you look really good. I want your anti-aging regimen.
seriously, take heed to the I've heard that before. You know, I want your anti-aging. You look, we'll have to reveal our ages. You look, you know, a certain way, this, that, and the other, you know, and I have my beliefs. I truly, truly, truly do. I just know, you know, everything you guys consume, like Cameron said, there's so much synthetic stuff in stuff. And I live off of vegetables and grains. And yeah, there can be synthetic forms, but you know, obviously I'm not buying those synthetic forms. So whatever you're consuming, you want to get them in their purest, and um your body is going to react to what you put inside of it.
Yeah, which is a challenge in and above itself, you know, not only knowing what to take, but which brand and how much and what kind of source, blah, blah, blah. But like I said, another podcast. So let's wrap up with the last
Yep.
two, Val.
Last
Eye
one.
health. People don't realize that your retina is made up of fatty acids, the retina in your eyes. So if you're not
Where
consuming,
else is there retina?
what? What? I
The
know.
retina in your eye. Is there a retina in our eye?
You know, I actually did a reel, I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
a
I'm
couple
just
days ago, and I said the same thing as I'm doing the reel. I'm recording the reel, and I said, the retina in your eye. And then I said, wait a second, is
where
there
else
another
is there?
retina?
Yeah,
I don't
where else
know.
is
Maybe
there a
there
retina?
is. I'll have to GTS that. I'm sure
Forehead?
Siri knows. No, Alexa. Alexa's smarter than Siri. Anyway, so your retina is made up of fatty acids. So if you're deficient, your diet, your body, your retina is probably going to be somewhat dry and crunchy, even if you don't know it.
Or if
Someone
you
can
live
look,
in Tucson.
or if you live anywhere in the desert,
Right.
we know what we're
Dry,
talking about
have
there,
dry,
don't we?
crunchy retina. People don't know.
But yeah, so it reduces the risk of macular degeneration and just overall supports your vision. So super important,
Huge.
especially for people that are no longer 25.
Very freaking true. Love that one. More on that later. Next one.
Yes,
Last.
another podcast. Okay, this is the last one and we'll wrap it up. So, also, if you live in the desert, this is super important. Even if you don't, skin health is a big one. So omega-3 fatty acids, they contribute to healthy skin by simply supporting the skin barrier function, meaning they hold hydration. So if you're living in a place like the desert, Arizona, wherever, that the environment it doesn't have a lot of humidity in it, you're
Right.
automatically going to be drier. And then 9 out of 10 people walking around don't consume enough water, so they're already dehydrated. And then you add all of these other things on top of it, so everything's dehydrated in your body, you know, your retinas, your skin, your internal organs. So the point being, omega-3 fatty acids in whatever form, it could be flax seeds and hemp seeds or fish oil, or whatever,
Right.
or MCT, I'd give it a little bit different medium chain versus long and short chain triglycerides. But again, another podcast. But long story short, it can help reduce skin conditions like eczema or psoriasis or anything leading to the itchiness that you have. That's inflammation of some sort. And fish oil in the form of omega-3s or omega-3s in the form of fish oil can help that. So let's
Oh,
to
and a
recap quickly.
really
Heart
quick though.
health. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hold on, really quick, just to add on really fast to her fish oil, the whole thing about the skin. My son right now, before we even decided to do this, I've actually upped our omega-3 intake here. Well, first of all, I live in the desert and I already have chronic dry eye. So it's already there and it's amplified more by the desert. So, and you can see my skin too. There's great different kinds of moisturizer, but I've upped our omega-3. And in my shake, you know, I have flax and hemp seed and chia every single day, but I've upped it for my son because he's starting to indicate there is some level of inflammation going on in his skin. He's getting eczema that's
Yep.
coming in his eyebrow here, or whatever. What is this? Your eyelid, the back of his neck. I detoxed him like 2 months ago, my 16-year-old. And but now since it's reoccurring, I'm like, or since it came back, I'm like, okay, well, your body reacts, as Cameron has stated, when there is something going on inside of it. If you go to a doctor, they're going to give you a Band-Aid, a topical cream, an ointment. They give you a Band-Aid they think they're solving something, but it's not solving why it's coming out. Your body is reacting to inflammation and something inside. So
Right.
why not treat the problem on the inside rather than do a topical cream or do a this?
Yeah,
It's
they're fixing the symptom. That's
yeah,
what
it's
they're
the
doing.
food you're eating or the environment you're exposed to or the stress that's going on in you have to get to the source. So long story short, I am upping his omega-3 intake, and it just goes along the line of what you just said about your skin and because it'll come out as psoriasis or eczema or this, that, and the other. So just very, very true. And we keep, you do and I do, our skin and our eye and all this healthy with the fish oil or the omega, aka the omega-3 fatty. I throw all mine in my shakes that I have, so that's where I mainly get most of mine initially. But awesome point, and it's happening.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So as we previously mentioned, I don't, can we put a PDF in the show notes? I don't know, but we can certainly put our email address down there and they can email us and we
The
can
description. Yeah,
drop
I
the
don't.
top 10 supplements that
I haven't
I
even, we haven't
currently
even done that
recommend.
to any of them either. We haven't put our email address. We haven't done. So yeah, we'll definitely do that. So guys, just thinking about YouTube. So comment, obviously if you're watching this, if this is something that you want, comment, and then we will, you know what? I'm wondering if you just have to, I'm trying to think how YouTube works. You can't put PDF.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I don't even know how you contact people because like it's not like you can click on their name and go to their YouTube profile and just type anything you want. It doesn't work that way. So um you're gonna have to just maybe email. You're gonna have to email us because I can't think right now on the spot, on the fly here. We'll put the
Yeah,
email
we'll figure it out.
address in the description. We'll put the email address in the description.
And maybe just drop in the
Email,
comments or email
yeah,
us and we'll make sure we get it right over to you.
right. Email that address that you want, or just comment you want the top 10 supplements list.
Yep. So real quick there's my dog to recap for fish oil, which again are omega-3 fatty acids, super important for a diet, or heart health, brain function, joint health, eye health, and skin health. And I would be willing to bet money you didn't know you needed them until you start taking them and see the difference. But I'm going to drop the mic and walk away now.
There you go. All right, you guys, thank you for listening and supporting, and make sure you check us out on our socials too. I'm Angel Val 77 on Instagram. And this will all, we need to start putting this just in the description, and just look in the show notes. All our info will be,
Everything's there.
not going to
Cameron
say it because you're not going to be
yeah,
writing this
yeah,
down.
whatever.
Just we'll put it in the description, and you can follow us on the social media. So we will catch you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Questions,
Watching.
and let us know what other topics you want us to cover.
Sounds great. All right. I'll